Ladies and gentlemen, we give you the plaque of the new John Glenn Post Office. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Senator John Glenn.
Thank you, Zach, good friend, and all of you here today, and thank you. It's a great time for us to hear all these nice things said about us. Is a bit overwhelming. I guess it's like a dinner Annie and I attended not too long ago in Columbus, and the person introducing me got all carried away and gave accolades and accomplishments I never dreamed of having in this life or the next. And finished up by finally saying, there are few truly great men in this world. And then he introduced me. Now that's rather heady. And so going home that night, I guess I was still thinking about it. And I said, Annie, you know, if you think about it, there aren't very many really, truly great men in this world. And took her about 2 seconds to say, let me tell you something, there's sure one less than you think there is. Someone introduce Annie. Age has been mentioned a couple of times here about my being the oldest person to go into space on the second flights and things like that. And I seem to be getting a lot from my colleagues, and every time there's some joke put around on the email now about age, I seem to be the recipient of it, and so we've had some good ones recently. One that I particularly liked was about the 3 old pilots. You know, your body changes as you get older, of course. And one I got not long ago was about the 3 elderly pilots are out walking across the ramp at the airport, and the first one says, "It's windy." And the second one looks at him and says, "No, it's Thursday." And the third one said, "Me too, let's go get a beer." See a little lightning in the distance back here. I don't know how long it was. Let me go thank everybody here very, very much. I appreciate this more than I can say. I was born on Foster Avenue, just what would be a mile and a half, I guess, straight north of here, way back. And you know, grew up over in New Concord. We lived the first couple of years of my life here in Cambridge. One of my first interests in aviation came from right here, though, where the state hospital is out just north of here. It used to be a grass airport out there, where they had one of the old rotating beacons that marked the center of an airway. And my dad I were driving by there one time in the old pickup truck. He had a little plumbing business in New Concord. And there was a man taking people up in a 2-place airplane, an old Waco open cockpit, 2-wing airplane, and for so much. And so he wanted to know if I wanted to go for a ride. That was beyond my wildest dreams, to go up in an airplane. But we did that and went up and circled around Cambridge a couple of times, landed back out there, and I was hooked on aviation from there on. So my interest in aviation started right just north of here. We had a long, after that I always made balsa cut-out airplanes and things like that. And later on, of course, when I was dating Annie, many times we were in the State Theater, which used to be right here now, the Scottish Rite Auditorium, or down at the Strand. Some of you may be old enough to remember when the Strand Theater was down the street. We're going to get some sprinkles here. I'm afraid we're going to have to run for cover here. So, look, I appreciate this very much. My career really started right in this building. That's the reason why I think this is so appropriate. After Pearl Harbor, I had my private pilot's license and came over here, went to the recruiting office in this building up on the 2nd floor. And it was the first place I ever got the forms to fill out to go in the military. They later sent me to Columbus for a physical exam and back to Zanesville to sign some other papers over there. But this is where my career in aviation really started, which led on through World War II, Korea, the testing program, space. It all started right here. And every time we've driven by here down Main Street, I always mention that this is to Annie, that this is where it all started. In the Senate, I was on the Governmental Affairs Committee, which had jurisdiction over the Postal Service at that time. And I had a subcommittee there that did all the passing of all the legislation through the Senate that had to do with that. But I think we better cut this thing very short here. Anyway, thank you all very, very much. I'm afraid you're all going to get wet if I don't stop. And so, thank you. This is a great day for us here, and we're very proud to be here. Thank you.
Good Lord, ride all the way. Godspeed, John Glenn. 5, 4, 3.